Hello, welcome back. This is part 8, and today we're going to be dealing with the mirror. So this is the scene when we last left it. You'll see I've added a few little additional things, and I'll be doing that now throughout the next few parts, just building up the scene slightly, just so we've got some different things to model. So I've added a few little, just two little, like a little plant on the windowsill there, and this little like glass sculpture, and that'll give us a way, because there's no glass really in the scene, so that'll give us a way of surfacing some glass and just give us a bit of variety. I've lowered the camera slightly so the window's not strictly in the middle of the scene. It's raised up very slightly. In fact, I'm going to lower it down a wee bit more. I'm just going to pull it down just so we can see the feet basically at the bottom of these little blocks. Okay. That'll do. Just so we can see these little feet there. Okay, so we're going to jump straight into the mirror. So I'm going to turn this on to just a shaded view for now, just so I can see. The mirror surround is going to be like a brown, dark brown leather with a mirrored internal there. The mirror texture material we're going to grab just from the browser, from the presets, but we're going to make the leather effect. So I'm going to go over to the close-up cam, and we're just going to try and get, I just want to see a corner, basically that's all, and you'll see why in a moment, just so we can get the leather patterning the right scale. So I'm going to turn this one over to close-ups as well. So we're just looking at this little small area. We'll go over to items mode. We're still in the render tab, and we'll click on open the render node. We've got filter on selection turned on, and you'll see it's made up of two materials. That's the mirror, so we'll do that one last, because that's just going to be a drag and drop from the Modo preset assets. So the surround here, I've provided you with a little bump map to give like a leather patterning. So what we'll do, we'll go to the mirror surround. I'm going to add in a loading image, and within your directory you've been supplied, there'll be a directory called additional textures, and in there's a leather JPEG, and this was the original file that came down from CG Textures. So I'll just show you that. It's like a beigey colour leather, like a diffuse sort of colour. And also there's a bump version, which is just basically, I loaded that into Photoshop and changed it into like a grayscale, desaturated it. Okay, so we're just going to load that in. I'm going to leave it as diffuse colour. We are going to change this to bump, but I want to just see the scale of the patterning first. So over in the properties of the image, we're going to turn off anti-aliasing, and there's no UV map on this, so I'm just going to change this to cubic. And now the scale of 3 feet is going to be absolutely massive, and this is going to come down to a couple of inches probably. So, but I'll just leave it to render just for a second, just so you can see the sort of effect it's given us, just like a leather sort of bumpy texture. So I'm going to turn this to equals on this one side, just so I can change them all in one go, and I'm going to put it down probably to about 6 inches from 3 feet. We'll see. That may be a bit small, but we'll see. So I'll just give that a second just to come in. Okay, so it's coming in now. You can see it's like a leather patterning. That looks about right actually for the scale, so I'll leave that like that for now. So I'm now going to change this over to bump, and now with the material itself, it's just going to be a low diffuse material. So I'm just going to bring this right down. maybe 5%. And the colour, like I say, I want a brown, so I'm gonna go over to sort of a browny range, and then bring it right down, probably about there. The roughness I'm going to put up to 50. Specular I'm going to bring down to about 5. Reflection amount, I want a wee bit of reflection, so I'm going to put that up to 10. And the finale up to about 50. Actually, I'm going to turn on below reflections, because we don't want it like mirroring there, because it's going to be such a sharp angle. You're going to see the window in here, so we don't really want that too much, because that's going to be quite blown out from the mirrored material, as you'll see. We may need the reflection raise up a bit from 64, but we'll leave it there just from the speed rendering. When we come to do the final outputs at the end, we're going to have to bump up some of these rays, etc. Okay, so you can't really see much, but that will, when you get a big large render, you will see the pattern broken on there. So I'm happy with that. And now for the mirror, we need to find mirror. It's probably in glass. Let's have a look. Glass, gloss, mirror. So I'm just going to drag that onto my mirror. Delete the material that came when I originally made the material, and drag the mirrored one just out of its group, just so we can keep it all nice and tidy. Okay, so I'm happy with that. We're going to go back over to the scene cam. I'm just going to pause the video now while I hit render, and when I come back, we'll see the mirror in situ. So back in a minute. Okay, welcome back. So this is the final output. So you can see it is slightly brown. You can't really see the bump at all on it, because the actual render is quite small. But when we boost it up for the final ones, we will see, or hopefully we'll see. If not, we'll have to just change the scale slightly. My only concern is the reflection from this window is quite blown out, so we may need to, when we come to do the final render settings, play about with the actual light outside, just to sort of tone this down a bit. We may even add an external type woodland scene or something out the window, so that may in fact fix that. So, but we'll come to that when we start looking at the glazing for the glass here and the external bit. So that's the mirror done. When we come back in part 9, we're going to just do another sort of odds and ends type part, and we're going to finish off all the little straggly ends, like there's a little chrome feet under here. There's all going to be stuff which using materials we've made before. The sink's going to be using the bath marble, as is the toilet in the BD. So we're going to go around the scene, just make sure there's no little bits. There's some like little rubber soles on the bottom of these chrome pads here. So we're going to just go around and make sure we've cleaned up everything, so there's nothing left other than the grey materials we've got left to render. So I'll see you back for part 9, and we'll take the scene a bit further forward. So bye for now.